There, Sart here, and so this video is going to be a little something different. So Shenmon brings something of a brand new boss mechanic to FFBE, and that's his physical and magic evasion reduction. We've had bosses before that, use accuracy as a way to circumvent evasion builds. And, that's been fairly common for a while now. But Shenmon is the first to introduce reducing our physical evasion, almost like, almost like a stat break. All right, that's probably the best way to think about it. We get percentage stat breaks to our, defense, spirit, attack, and mag, things like that. And this reduction works pretty much the same way. It's a percentage reduction in our evasion. Now, what this means is that if you have 100% evasion, a full evasion build, and Shenmon does a 75% evasion reduction, that means you only have 25% evasion left, which means you will evade on average 1 out of every 4 hits. Okay. What this presents, though, is an opportunity to actually build units with more than 100% evasion to try and continue to evade. Now, of course, 75% evasion means you would need to build 400% evasion to still become full evade. But what I'm going to show you here is how we can still reach full evasion. And why I know for certain that it is a percentage based and not just like a flat, 75%. It's not like, if you have 200% evasion and it's a 75% reduction, you still have 125% evasion. All right, it doesn't work that way. And I'll show you why I know this. So I'm going to do 3 different teams and 3 different runs to prove exactly how this mechanic works, and just to show you, because I honestly haven't seen any videos out there sort of demonstrating this, and I'm kind of surprised because it is a new mechanic. But here we go. I figured it's not out there, so I'm going to do it myself. So here's the team I'm going to use. Same team. You'll see one slot is empty. I am going to fill that slot for the 3rd run, and we'll get to that when we get to it. All right. So Cacteria is literally just going to be breaking. I'm going to use Esther as my Omni tank, because the only way to make sure that she takes all the hits is to have her Omni tank, because on turn 2 there'll be some magic attacks in there as well. So we're just going to make sure she tanks everything to show the effectiveness of this. So Elena is there for elemental buffs to make sure Esther doesn't take too much damage on the magic turn. We've got Sacred Shield Charlotte. She's just there for the 90% magic mitigation for the single target attacks. And then Bartz is literally just there to entrust his LB gauge to Esther on turn 1 so she can get up and running. And I'm only going to turn 3 because Shenmon does a 100% evasion reduction on turn 2 that lasts for just that turn. And then on turn 3 he'll do a 75% reduction, followed up by a lot of physical attacks. And so it's a great opportunity to sort of see how this actually works. Okay, so for the first run, I'm really only focusing on Esther. The rest of these builds are irrelevant. So Esther in this one is just a 100% evasion. All right, 100% physical evasion. All right, here's the gear. Not that it's really all that important. But this is how I'm achieving 100% evasion. Okay, so we're going to test 100% evasion. She'll evade everything on turn 1 because there's no evasion reduction on turn 1. On turn 2, we'll see that she takes all the physical hits because it's a 100% reduction. And then on turn 3, she'll take most of the hits, but you'll see a few misses in there because it's a 75% reduction. All right, so let's get in there and see how this works. All right, so turn 1. All right, I'll just start up with Cacteria. We're just going to do her big break, her big attack mag break. And there we go. All right, I need to load up Esther's LB. There we go. And then she is just going to put up her Omni cover, Storm Guardian, and Boundless Stasis. All right. And then she's just going to guard for the rest of it. I'm only doing the first 3 turns. This is not a clear. This is not a clear guide, so do not follow this as a clear guide at all. All right, Elena's going to do her elemental buffs next turn, so she also removes the imperils at the same time. All right, so Esther should evade everything since she's 100% evasion, and there's no accuracy on the boss. All right, so you'll see everything is missing, full evade. Perfect. All right, just what you want. So here, Cacteria is just going to do a water hit just to keep doing that. Elena will do her buffs on this one. All right, and then everyone else can just guard. Okay, so here Esther is going to take all of the physical hits. She will not be able to evade anything because it's 100% reduction in evasion now. All right, those are the magic attacks. There's the physical attacks. So you see everyone hits. All right, every one of those hit her. Okay, and you can see there's that reduction there. Okay, that'll actually go away by Shenmon's next turn. And the next turn will just be a 75% reduction. Okay, so again, we're just going to reload. Everyone's going to guard. All right, so Esther will take most of the hits, but you will see some misses in there, so keep your eye out for the misses. All right, there's a contact. Yep, see there's a miss there. Well, she took most of that. There's another miss. All right, another miss. Yeah. So you see that's pretty much in line with approximately 25% evasion. So I wasn't counting there. You don't really need to count. If you want to go back and count them, you can to figure it out. But, you know, probably about 1 out of every 4 hits was evaded there. All right. So good. All right. So we've shown how that works just with basic 100% evasion. Now let's crank that up to 200% evasion. All right. And let's see how that changes things. Okay. So for 200% evasion, let's do... I'm going to get either Locke's Dagger or the Crimson Butterfly. Either one of those has 30% evasion on it. And come on, where's my Crimson Butterfly? There it is. Okay. We'll use Runda's Shield here because that has 20% evasion on it. Okay. And so that should give us 150. Now, let's do Sea Dragon for another 30. Where's my Sea Dragon? There it is. And we'll do Dodge Roll. I would do Danger gets the blood pumping too. Yeah, either one. That also puts 20%. So, now we have 200% evasion. Okay, so with 200% evasion, what this means now is on turn 1, she'll still evade everything, of course. Turn 2, she will still take all of the hits because it's a 100% reduction. So that means no matter what evasion you have in your build, it all gets completely canceled out because this is a percent reduction. All right, it's not an additive or rather subtractive. Okay, this is a percentage reduction. Now on turn 3, that's where things get interesting because you'll see she will evade a lot more than she did in the previous run. Okay, because she'll have effectively 50% evasion. So let's get into it. All right, so we're going to do everything exactly the same as we did last time. Okay, nothing different here. This is just to show the difference. Boom. Alright, load up Esther. Omni cover, Storm Guardian, Boundless Stasis. Yep. Put up our magic mitt. And there we go. Alright, so again, Esther's going to evade all the physical hits. No problem. Yep, everything misses. Of course, you would expect that with 100% or higher evasion and no accuracy. Okay, now Cacteria will just hit it with some water. Elena buffs. Everyone else guards. Alright, Esther's going to take all of the physical hits. She will not be able to evade anything because this is a 100% evasion reduction. Okay, so there's the magic attacks, and here comes the physicals. Yep, so the blue ones are your physicals. Yep, she did not evade anything. There were no misses. Alright, and that was to be expected. On this turn, alright, we'll just reload. This turn you should see a lot more misses than you did in the previous clear, because she'll have effectively 50% evasion now. Alright, there's some misses. Yep, more misses. Alright, so definitely saw a few more misses there. Alright, might be kind of hard to tell, right? You're probably thinking, that could just be RNG, right? Okay, so here is the definitive answer. Alright, this is why I know for certain that a 75% reduction with 200% evasion gives you 50% evasion. And I'm going to prove this with our good friend Sky. Where's my Sky? There she is. Because Sky has a 50% accuracy reduction on her Brave Shift LB. And 50% evasion plus 50% accuracy reduction equals 100% evasion. So now, on turn 3, you will notice that Esther will be able to evade everything as though she had full evasion. Alright, so again, Esther still has... Oh, wrong build. There we go. Still has 200% evasion. Okay? So, let's do this one. This is the last run I'm going to do. This is just to prove how this evasion reduction works. Okay? Alright, so doing everything pretty much exactly the same. Breaks. Except Sky is going to do her Brave Shift LB. That's for the accuracy reduction. Magic Mitt. And trust Esther. Alright, and... Alright, so we're all set up. Esther will, of course, evade everything here. Okay. Alright, Cacteria can now just do her punch. Everyone else, except for Elena, will guard. Alright, you might notice some of the physical hits are going to miss here because the boss now has 50% accuracy reduction. Alright, so you might notice 50% of the hits are gonna miss here, as you would expect. Alright, here come the physicals. Alright, so yeah, there are a couple misses there. Alright, so this is the definitive proof. Alright, so on this turn, Shenmon will do a 75% evasion reduction. Alright, 75%, or rather, 25% of 200% is 50% evasion. Boss has 50% accuracy reduction, so Esther should have effectively full evasion now. Okay, So we'll just reload everybody, and we should see every single hit miss. All right. RNG dictates that there's a possibility that 50% evasion, she would still evade everything, but there are so many physical hits, it would be highly unlikely. And I've run this so many times, I can tell you for certain that this works. All right, Esther effectively has full evasion now. So here we go. Yep. Everything misses. Full evasion, not a single one of them. It would be impossible, I feel like damn near impossible to do that if she did not have full evasion, right? Okay. So yeah, now the point of all this, the upshot is that you can build beyond 100% evasion. Because the question is it even, like, is there any point to doing more than 100% evasion? You know, certain stats you go beyond, and it doesn't, you know, anything beyond the limit doesn't matter, right? Especially things like, you know, damage. You know, you do 350% LB passive, that extra 50 doesn't count. In this case, with with evasion reduction, building beyond the cap does in fact help. Okay, so what this means is maybe you want to take another look at that 50% evasion gear in the original armory. I know the killers are definitely more desirable. In my case, I'm still going to go for the killers first, but I seriously am going to look at potentially picking up that 50% evasion gear, because you never know when this physical accuracy reduction is going to come into play again, and this now means there is a potential to build a full evasion unit as long as the boss doesn't use 100% evasion reduction. So that's really all I wanted to test here and all I wanted to show you guys. So I hope this was helpful to you. And if you guys like this, definitely let me know in the comments below. Let me know what you think about this. And yeah, I'll be leaving in a couple of days, sadly, but I'll still try and put up some videos here and there until I get back in mid to late July. And hope you guys have a great day. All right, see you on the other side.